Hello, since I got a special request on 3 versus 3 tactical advices or ideas, I'm really not an expert on this, but I have some ideas, maybe they might help a little bit. So here's the final game between Latvia and Sweden, which Latvia managed to win in the penalty shootout. I'm not sure which year it was, but yeah. Anyway, they won the match. They've led, I think, 4 or 5-1 in the game. Then Sweden managed to, get up, and the game was decided in the penalty shootouts. I think we have quite many different goals here in the game, but one type of goal was a little bit more often than other types of goals. So you could, think about if you would want to practice these kind of approaches a little bit more. Of course, like goals out of the sudden situation. I'm not sure they should come now. Like Latvia did, I think 2 or 3 goals out of this situation, and I think Sweden also did one. Here we have one of these kind of goals. So more or less deep pass, and now the player is able to shoot out of movement. So he's not standing still, like receiving the ball, turning around and shooting, but he is able to move, get some speed, more speed than the Swedish defender in this situation, receiving the ball and running with the ball, and out of this running situation is able to score a goal. I think also on the 5 versus 5, the bigger field, we see some goals of that, but I think it's not that common to see these kind of goals in the 5 versus 5 because the distance, the range from shooting to the goal usually is a little bit bigger than we have here on the small field on the 3 versus 3. I think this I don't know, you could say maybe 5 meters or 6 meters. This is really not far. I think on the bigger field, you would at least shoot from here, maybe not so close. And of course, you have more players to guard position and stuff like that. So classical, the 3-on-3 is more like a one-on-one defending and attacking situation. And I think, of course, this is also a one-on-one situation. You don't like outplay the Swedish defenders like on a 2-on-1 or something like that. So this is like one offending against the one defending player. But the advantage of the offending player, I would say, is, and I think we see 3 goals like this in this final, or maybe even 4. I think Latvia at least was managed to score like 2 identical goals like this. Sweden definitely one. I think it was Vrandamark who scored from this area. He was running with the ball. It's a little bit different than the Latvian guy, but he was running with the ball down the rink here into the corner. A few steps. Latvian player was following him. Then he stops, turned around, and then shot the goal out of the movement. So I think this is the advantage is the defender. It's really hard for the defender to be able to adapt, like where's the hole, like in my defending position. He doesn't know exactly where the goal is, and you only need a really small spot, and if you're able to have your head up like the Latvian player does all the time while you're running, you can time the exact spot when to shoot. Of course, not every shot will go maybe into the goal, but if you manage to have like one additional player, he can be guarded by this guy. You don't have to play a pass to him, but if you have the additional player and you're shooting, you're able to pass the defender with a shot on the goal, and then you get the rebound shot on the goal, maybe because you're quicker than the defender of your opponent's team. I think this kind of situation you can try to create for a better chance to score some goals. So let's see. This is one goal. I'm not sure. Maybe Sweden scores quite same goal after that. I think this is the situation of Randamak. Here we see almost similar situation. little bit different movement from Vrandamak than from the Latvian player, but almost, yeah, same kind of. So deep pass down to the rink. Well, this is the first Latvian goal again, which I've showed. And here, yeah, more or less deep pass, but you can see Vrandamak doing with his body, and then getting enough space for shooting. Maybe also a little bit lucky. I'm not sure if it's the short post here, but anyway. And what we can see, I think, as I said, the rebound situation. I mean, it's not scored by a rebound, but if the goalie would have blocked the shot, we see Swedish player is nearer to the rebound than the Latvian guy. So I think this is something you can also try to practice and try to play in the game and get some advantage, because the goalie, especially from these short kind of shots, it's quite hard to catch the ball. Maybe he will be able to block the shot because of good positioning from the goalkeeper, but then the ball might drop. He gets the ball and can try to do the rebound goal. So, and we see here like Swedish player is completely free. If the goalkeeper is not able to catch the ball, rebound in this direction, Latvian player has almost no chance to get to defend the ball from a rebound shot. Yeah, and of course, I think there's many transition goals which you can score. So I think also biggest thing for you might be to prevent own mistakes, because if you do a mistake, there will easily and very fast be a 2-on-1 situation. Yeah. So we see this like out of chaos, then you score the goal because the distance is so short on this small kind of field. Of course, on the big field you will have similar situations, but not so many goals out of it, I would say. So, yeah, I think movement is really the key with the ball. Like movement in the opponent's half of the court is very important. So if you're in these situations like on the rink, you really have to decide to go very fast in one direction. Don't receive the ball and wait, or I don't know, whatever. You have to like go in one direction and then try to outrun your opponent a little bit. If it's like shooting here or going here and then dropping the ball, because the distance is so short. You only need like one chance, ball's going through, and then there's no center, only another defender. And if he's not fast enough or doesn't get the ball somehow, you might be able to score the goal. So I'm not sure which was the last goal of Latvia. The 9-9 goal. Let's see if we have another type of the goal. Again, out of the movement, of course, free hit situation. But here you can see you might have the advantage of while moving, receiving, and at the same time moving with the ball, and there will be a little spot where you can shoot. Of course, you have to be a very good shooter. You have to practice this a lot, and especially you have to have your head up. I think this is one of the most important things. On the tactical side, as I said, I'm really not an expert, but from my point of view, if you're defending, I would say you should more or less start with 2 players in front, 1 player back. Of course, if your opponent is already standing like this, okay, you should not do this. I think that's logical. But most of the time, I think your opponent will start like this or start like this. Somehow, not completely like with only 1 player. Might be a little bit too risky too. So if your opponent is starting like this, and maybe there will be a deep pass in the corner to the corner, and your player is going here, and then I think it's quite important to guard the post. So you I think you might be forced to do a little bit of yeah, defending spaces or areas or zone defense. So not just one-on-one, because if you completely leave this, like only stay here, for example, with your opponent, and completely leave these posts here out of defending, your opponent might be able to outrun you and not maybe do the direct goal, but go in front of the goal and then maybe is able to shoot, or someone can run here, and then you have the 2-on-1 situation, not against this player but against this player. So you might have to think about it if you want to yeah, have a little bit of zone defense too. So in this situation, pass deep to the corner, player runs behind the goal, and then you get here. Of course, this player has to go very, very deep. So this player cannot, of course, if he's running here, you may be able to defend here the post, but if you just, I don't know, stay with your opponent, of course, quite stupid, then of course there will be the chance of scoring the goal. You have to go quite deep, and then yeah, you can try to, there will be maybe a back pass like this, player will come here, then you have to do the pressing, and at the same time, while he's going behind the goal, or if he's like on the other side, then this player has of course to see, okay, there will be my next opponent, so he already has to go upward, a little bit upward again. So if the pass come, yes, and he wants to play the cross pass, he needs to be there quite fast to yeah, prevent shots or yeah, attack the player, get some pressure. So I always said this is like playing triangles, which are always moving. So you could say, if we start like this from the defense perspective, we have the this kind of triangle, and then ball goes down, you go there, he goes a little bit down, and then you have this kind of this kind of triangle. First you had this kind of triangle, now you have the other one. Then ball moves the sides, crosses, ball goes behind, player goes up, player goes up, player goes here, and then you have this kind of triangle again. So always switching between these kind of triangle. Of course, this is like a very raw approach. You will mostly be like quite near one-on-one, because you have to prevent the shots, as we saw in the highlight video, and the previous highlight video between Latvia and Sweden. And yeah, maybe, as I said, if you are able to do these kind of passes as Latvia did, or Sweden once did, like quite deep pass here, players going upwards like this, and he's shooting, and then you go for the rebound, shooting, goalkeeper doesn't catch the ball, ball goes away, try the rebound. I think this can happen. Or work out, and maybe, but you really have to practice that, I would say. Crossing with players can be also an approach if you're really good at this, very safe with your technique, like player is running with the ball, drops the ball to the other player. Of course, he needs to be right-sided in this situation, so he also gets some space here and is able to run with the ball. And now he has to decide, okay, do I have to go to this player? Okay, I can go, but then this player might be able to outrun and receiving the ball, shooting and then rebound by this player or whatever. Or he's even able to outrun number 3, or number 3 is guarding number 1 and 3 is able to shoot on the goal. So these kind of crossings with 2 players, I don't know. You can try that and practice, but I think because the distances are so so small. If you are able to outrun only one player, you're already in an advantage. You will have the 2-on-1 situation, or you will be so close to the goal that you can already shoot on the goal. So let's see what I said. Maybe a pass here. He starts to run this like hockey pocky move. He will have to go here. He will have to go here, drop the ball, get some speed, and then see what player number 3 is doing. If he's go like really tight, okay, you have to see if you can like play the ball somehow, get the ball here. Of course, it's very risky, as you see. Like if you're failing, number 3 gets the ball from you, you will be, of course, there will be a counter attack and most likely a goal, of course. So you should only try this if you're, yeah, like really safe with your technique. And I mean, you can try, of course, different approaches. But I think these shots out of movements or movements are very important at the 3 with the 3 small field situations.